Another bright and sunny day here in the Big Apple as we set our sights on the backstretch here at the Big A and, of course, the surrounding neighborhood of South Ozone Park, Queens. And from the backside all the way to our clubhouse studios at Aqueduct, your one-stop shopping for all things Big A and Holiday Fest on this Black Friday. Jason Blewitt, Richard Migliore alongside, and Holiday Fest, this is kind of the middle portion of it. We had a couple of nice steaks on the card, and the weather, man, you just can't beat it towards the end of November.
It was remarkable. I went out there today. It almost felt balmy, much more spring-like than, fall turning into winter. And I think if yesterday was the starter, today was the second course, well, tomorrow's the main course.
Yeah, building up to that Grade 1 cigar mile card, 11:50 a.m., the first post. We'll have the guaranteed late pick 4, of course, the low rollers contest, and a lot more reminders as we continue on, and a lot of ground to cover on tonight's edition of Insider. Glad you're with us on MSG Plus as we backtrack. And Mongolian Saturday, well, he'll take his show on the road. He's going international and had a key workout earlier today down at Gulfstream Park.
Well, I think he really reinforced just what an international event the Breeders' Cup is, with his connections being there in their traditional Mongolian dress, and certainly he was big, got it done here. It's funny, too, people underestimate how difficult it is for horses to change directions after going one direction for so long. So I think it's very smart of his connections to get him a workout or a fast workout going the other direction, clockwise, as opposed to counterclockwise.
Yeah, and apparently he went through that right-handed breeze earlier today on the Gulfstream main track with no problems whatsoever, and he will set his sights on the Hong Kong Turf Sprint, the first U.S.-based horse to run in that race since 2009. Good stuff with Mongolian Saturday. Let's move on to the action as we were fast and firm, and again, racing was top-notch today. Some big fields. We got 3 races, Mig, in on the grass, and we also had 2-year-olds battling 3/4 in the King's Swan as we go up to track announcer John Embriao.
For Mo for the Money, and Spooked Out is right there. But Mo for the Money has the lead by a half length. Spooked Out is second by 2. In Our Defense runs in third. Salazar is fourth, and Jan's Reserve trails the field in fifth. Up the backstretch, Mo for the Money with the lead over Spooked Out. Mo for the Money now by almost a length. Spooked Out tracking in second. The quarter was 21 4/5 seconds. These 2-year-olds are really moving here as they race midway on the turn. Mo for the Money on the inside and Spooked Out on the outside. Now nothing between them. Those two have opened up 8 lengths on Salazar in third, and then In Our Defense and Jan's Reserve. At the top of the stretch, Spooked Out on the outside has now taken the lead from Mo for the Money, but Salazar is gaining ground towards the rail, and Jan's Reserve is moving up on the outside, and Jan's Reserve has gone by them all. Jan's Reserve drawing away in the stretch. Jan's Reserve comes from way out of it and wins going away by 7 lengths. 21-1. Jan's Reserve pulls off the upset in the King Swan.
21-1, just like that opening quarter in which Jan's Reserve got a pair of horses who were setting wicked fractions heads apart, and he closed them down with a big last-to-first run.
Well, and it's eye-catching the way he's running through the wire and winning easily. Obviously, he got the setup when the 2 favorites went at it, hammer and tongue, Mo for the Money and Spooked Out, and not just going head-and-head and going fast. Also, body contact, hurting out. It was basically like they thought they were in a match race. It was just a 2-horse race, when obviously you had horses behind them that had some quality. And this horse didn't run bad his first start on the dirt. And how about Salazar kind of refining his form a little bit?
Yeah, and moving inside. And as this card continues on the show, you can make your own assumptions. I didn't think the inside was really where you wanted to be off a gold rail here yesterday. Regardless, Michael Dilger, the winning trainer, he is golden. He got the money at 20-1, and here he is with the Mig.
Mike, Jan's Reserve started his career on the dirt, and then you switched him to the turf. What was the thought process behind that?
At the time we thought he was training a little better on turf. He was handling it better. So that's why we switched him over. But he, since he won his race, he's just been training at Belmont and just been handling the dirt so well that we said we'd hang around and wait for this race.
And he got a lot of pace to run at today. You must have been feeling pretty good when you saw that duel.
We were very happy when that happened, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was the ideal scenario for us.
And what do you do with him now, Mike? Do you think he'll stretch out?
Joel just made the comment that he thought he might, but, there's a lot of opportunities for one-turn horses, so we'll see what happens.
Are you going to bring him to Florida, or will he be staying here?
He'll most likely go to Florida. Most likely, yeah.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, we like Michael Dilger. He is certainly a young trainer, a new face, sort of, to keep an eye on, a graduate going back of the Darley Flying Start program.
Yeah, very thoughtful kind of horseman, you know, a guy you like listening to. You could see his insights into his horses. And, I mean, this horse, it was interesting. I mean, watching him finish, and again, he did get the perfect setup, but he really ran through the wire like I do believe he will stretch out. And Joel Rosario is a very opportunistic rider. He pounces on other guys' mistakes, kind of like the New York Rangers when they're playing well. They make other teams pay for their mistakes.
Yeah, it didn't happen today up in Boston. A tough game to lose, a nasty game from what we could see. The little I was able to watch here at the track, but again, a tough loss for the Rangers. Not the case, though, for Jan's Reserve, who is by Reddy's image out of a Pine Bluff mare. Maybe he will stretch out. Let's move on to the Gopher Wand, a race, of course, that great Hall of Fame champion. She is never far from our hearts and minds as we go back to Johnny I for the call. Fillies and mares, and most eyes on the big odds-on favorite, Taurus.
Bit of a hesitant start for number 2, America, and she trails the field. Taurus was away well along with Spelling Again, and Spelling Again grabs the lead. Taurus runs in second, and Mailing is next in third. Kiss to Remember runs in fourth, then a break of 2 to Playful Love and Blewitt, and America is at the back. The field is moving up the backstretch. Spelling Again, 3/4 of a length over Taurus after an opening quarter mile in 23 4/5 seconds. Mailing on the outside in third. And then it's Kiss to Remember racing in fourth. Blewitt down on the inside in fifth. Playful Love's in between horses, and America is on the outside, still seventh and last. Spelling Again is still the leader here. And now there's a half mile to the finish. Spelling Again by a length over Taurus. The opening half went in 47 2. Spelling Again, 3/4 of a length over the favorite Taurus, with Mailing on the outside in third. Then down on the inside is Blewitt. Kiss to Remember looks to move up in between horses. Playful Love and America are at the back of the pack. Spelling Again challenged here by Taurus, and Mailing on the outside. They're into the stretch now. Taurus bearing out a bit there. Taurus bearing out. On the outside is Mailing. Then it's Spelling Again down towards the rail, followed by Kiss to Remember in fourth, and Blewitt is fifth as they move for the 16th pole. Taurus is now clear. Taurus in front by 2. Then Mailing and Spelling Again, and Taurus checks home first in the Gopher Wand handicap. Mailing was second, and Spelling Again finished third.
Well, you talked about Joel Rosario pouncing and finding other guys' mistakes in the blink of an eye. I think Ron Anderson, his agent, was on the phone right away with Simon O'Callaghan, and Joel replaced Gary Stevens, who took off Taurus, and a workmanlike victory out of this filly by Flatter.
Yeah, Gary Stevens falling ill after making that long trek from California to here, and then Joel Rosario being the recipient of picking up a very, very nice filly. Really is never done anything wrong, and had a tough trip in the Breeders' Cup. I did talk to Joel after the race, and one of the things I asked him about was when he kind of eased out even further off the rail, carried Mei Ling out a bit, and he said he just wanted to get her real comfortable and not put her in a position where she was kind of encumbered with horses outside of her. She is a big mare, and she went on about her business. Big run by Mei Ling as well, who now is a graded stakes-placed horse and will become, I'm sure, a member of Barry Schwartz's broodmare band, but a good run from her. Taurus, though, much the best.
Just the class of the field, and she got the mile. I think that was the biggest question. Her sprint races going 6 to 7 had been so good, including that tough third-place finish in the BC Filly and Mare Sprint. She got the 8 furlongs in the one-turn main track race at Belmont Park, and that is a distance and scenario we'll have time and time again on the show, Mig. We've got a couple of very impressive last-out Belmont Park maiden winners squaring off in race number 5. We'll have them in the gate. We'll have Johnny I's call right on the other side of this quick timeout.
Now you can enjoy your favorite pro and fantasy football teams while playing the races in style, as Longshots welcomes back NFL Sunday Ticket. With over 400 HD TVs, 270 individual carols, a full-service sports bar and food menu, Longshots is the place to catch all the great racing and football action. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your league to Longshots, located on the second floor at Aqueduct.
Back to Aqueduct Insider here on MSG Plus. And Sundays, well, who says there's no free money at the racetrack? Not on Sundays with the 10% winner's bonus. Watch and wager at NYRA.com, and those wagers put in on the mobile site also apply to the 10% winner's bonus. Streamlined, very intuitive. If you haven't checked it out, you're still wagering with the old NYRA Rewards at NYRarewards.com. Check it out, NYRA.com. Top of the homepage, log in, and you're good to go. It's the MIG, it is Jason, and maybe the biggest endorsement, and we've talked about this before, you have no problems whatsoever with the new wagering site.
Not at all. I can even negotiate that site. Now I'm just looking at that go, so now I'm going to get this straight. If you hit a pick 3 on Sundays,
right,
you get 10% more on top of it. So
yeah,
is it safe to say that Sundays are fun days at Aqueduct?
Sundays are always fun days, and we do have a very nice edition of the Thunder Rumble for the Stallion Stakes. We've got the winner, Empire Dreams, of the Empire Classic for West Point, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was a New York bred you got along pretty well with back in the day.
Well, I was just going to say, now you know you're getting old when they're continually naming races after horses that you were lucky enough to ride. Today, the King Swan. Sunday, the Thunder Rumble. Pretty soon it's going to be grandparents, horses that I rode their grandparents.
Didn't know you rode King Swan, though.
Quite a bit.
Oh, wow. And his resume, man, at the Big A, I noticed on, and he's got his own Wikipedia page, retirement ceremony for him as a 10-year-old. His farewell was right here at the Big A.
Yeah, he was a fan favorite, and rightfully so. A horse that showed up, brought his lunch pail, went to work every time.
All right, let's see who showed up out of the chute as we go a mile. Race number 5, Johnny I with the call, and we'll cash out the pick 5 and early pick 4. Some big prices coming your way in the multi-race bets. Sit tight for those, and here's Johnny out of the chute.
From the inside, Danny's Deceiver and Shaken Not Stirred is right there. Shaken Not Stirred on the outside of Danny's Deceiver. The two of them are heads apart for the lead. They've opened up 2 lengths on Towering Moon. Backside of the Moon now goes up in between horses Coach's Challenge, and Tiz Quick trails the field in 6th. The first quarter was run in 23 and 3/5 seconds. Danny's Deceiver by a head. Shaken Not Stirred on the outside is second by a length, with Backside of the Moon at the rail. And on the outside, it's Towering Moon. And in between those two, Coach's Challenge, Tiz Quick remains the trailer. They're approaching the half-mile pole. Danny's Deceiver and Shaken Not Stirred. They're still 1-2 as they head for the far turn after an opening half in 47 seconds. Danny's Deceiver on the inside and Shaken Not Stirred on the outside. And now they're stride for stride for the lead, with Towering Moon up on the outside in 3rd. Backside of the Moon is just in behind the front runners in 4th. Then Coach's Challenge and Tiz Quick. The 6 of them come for the top of the stretch. Danny's Deceiver, Shaken Not Stirred, Towering Moon on the outside. Backside of the Moon looks to advance down at the rail. Here's Towering Moon on the outside of Shaken Not Stirred. And those two hook up with a 16th to the wire. Shaken Not Stirred, Towering Moon on the outside. Towering Moon narrowly. Shaken Not Stirred not giving up. They come for the finish. It's a photo. Look like Towering Moon, but a photo finish with Shaken Not Stirred farther back.
Closest race we've had so far tonight on the show, Mig, is 2 horses. We're both game. They threw it down. The 1 Shaken Not Stirred for Bill Mott, but the 6 Towering Moon, who's got the home field advantage, based right here at the Big A with Rudy Rodriguez, he would not be denied.
I'm very impressed with Shaken Not Stirred. This is only the 2nd start of his life, where Towering Moon was making the 28th start of his life. 23rd start of his life, and his 5th win. And I just think it was that edge and experience and foundation that made the difference. And Shaken Not Stirred was trying to get back to him and fight him off. But this horse, Shaken Not Stirred, when he has a little more racing, I think he's going to develop into an even nicer horse. I mean, I think he tipped his hand today more than the day he broke his maiden.
And maybe a family affair with the mare, Towering Escape, who actually dropped Towering Moon. This one's full brother, Escape to the Moon, is running in tomorrow's 2nd race. Bruce Brown has that one for owner breeder Al Fried, and he does have a pretty big chance in there. We'll wait and see what he does on tomorrow's Insider as we get into everything else that happened on another Friday at Aqueduct. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9.
For success, continues to gain on the outside, so three of them across the track, with Hush Now just in behind, racing in fourth. Then Etta Carade and Stormy Sky. They turn into the stretch. Yes for Success. Here's Hush Now on the outside. Yes for Success. Hush Now, and Stormy Sky is kicking in out in the middle of the track. They pass the 8th pole. It's Hush Now and Stormy Sky. Stormy Sky gets the lead. Hush Now second. Stormy Sky pulls off the upset. Hush Now was second. Then Yes for Success. And Edling's off the lead. Then it's Arctic King, Anton B, followed by Bustin' the Bank, and way back is Southern Manners. The half in 45 2/5 seconds. The field is in the stretch. Here comes Elusive Talmo up on the outside to challenge for the lead with Apache Warrior. Memory Keeper is back running in third. And then it's Anton B and Arctic King, and a 16th to the wire. Elusive Talmo now grabs the lead from Apache Warrior, and it's Elusive Talmo to take it. Apache Warrior was second, and it was close for third between Bustin' the Bank, upright. Oh, and taking a bad step there was a Winged Fury, almost unseating the rider. Irad Ortiz Jr. stayed aboard. Now the field is in the stretch, and it's Skatouche and My Impression and Skatouche. They are heads apart. Then it's Yanita as the field comes down for the finish. It will be My Impression. My Impression under the wire first, then Skatouche. Yanita was third, followed by Paradise Peak, widest of all. Then Foxy Posse and Rice and Beans down at the rail. The field is at the top of the stretch. And it's Stone Supplier who comes away with a narrow lead. But here's Half Dreamin' now. Half Dreamin' now to take the lead from Stone Supplier. Paradise Peak on the extreme outside. And Rice and Beans as they pass the 8th pole. It's Half Dreamin' in front by 3 lengths. Paradise Peak moves into second. It's going to be Half Dreamin'. The winner here. Paradise Peak was second, then Stone Supplier and Rice and Beans. And Mangold followed by Soul Man and Whippo, 3/4 in 1:15. They're in the stretch, and it is Dynamic Decision, the one to catch, in front by 2 lengths. Hoon on the outside, then It Matters and Britannia's Moat. Soul Man switches to the outside. Chasing Dynamic Decision, who still leads. Dynamic Decision by 2. Then It Matters and Soul Man. They come for the finish. Dynamic Decision did it. Soul Man got up for second. 11 and now dropping back. The field comes into the stretch. It's the Crocheron Kid on the outside. Here comes 'Tis a Chance. Younger is in between horses, and Cliffs of Dover. Inside the 8th pole, the Crocheron Kid holding on to the lead. The Crocheron Kid by 2. 'Tis a Chance is all out, but is not going to catch the Crocheron Kid. A wire-to-wire winner. 'Tis a Chance was second, and Cliffs of Dover finished third.
Pick 6 carryover into Saturday's card here with the Crocheron Kid. Second win on the day for Angel Arroyo. Laid down the fractions with David Dunk, and the upset, I think, though, Rudy Rodriguez's horse in the last Apollo 11 caught your eye.
Yeah, he caught my eye. It was first time gelding. He looked like he was in the midst of a rally. It looked like Irad Ortiz had horse. He got not only stymied in traffic, horse stopped in his face and basically had to back him up all the way to last. And he did good to split the field. This is a horse that I'm sure we'll be talking about on Trips and Traps.
And traffic and bumping on the turf today at Aqueduct, well, that was something Irad Ortiz dealt with more than once. As we take a look with Cappy, and we'll bring out the binocs, and we've got the up-close ISO shot of the field rounding the quarter pole in race number 4. The number 5 Winged Fury, not sure if this was a chain reaction, Mig, but she will lose her action, and I'm amazed she stayed up, and Irad was able to pull himself back in the saddle.
Well, it looked like the filly directly inside of him got up on heels, kind of jumped on heels and ducked out and right into his face. Now then she in turn clipped heels, and it's miraculous. And is there any way we can run that back and look at that one more time so people have a real good idea of what they're looking at here? That she was able to keep her feet, and he was able to stay in the saddle and keep the horse, the number 5. You know, the horse the shadow is going to check here, come out. He clips heels. She goes on her head. He almost went over her head there. The reins, everything. He's out of the saddle. Now watch his left leg. He grabs with his heel behind the saddle and pulls himself back in the middle. Do you know how much leg strength
Can't imagine.
it takes to do what he just did? Now, obviously, self-preservation and fear are big motivating factors trying to right yourself in that position. But if it wasn't for Irad Ortiz's and his horse, Winged Fury's, that's right, Winged Fury's athleticism, they would have gone down. But boy, these guys are real athletes, and anybody who doesn't think so, try that one time.
Yeah, no kidding. And they both stayed up and finished the race, and Irad even went to the stick to motivate her off the turn.
I was a little surprised he went back to riding so quickly before he kind of made sure everything was okay, but that's when you're young and exuberant. That's what you do.
All right, and he still is #1 in the standings, a good kid. Only won one race today where Joel Rosario and Angel Arroyo were the riding stars with a pair of wins. And Joel, of course, as you know from watching the show tonight, took both stakes on the Black Friday program. Trainer standings, we ran 9 and we had 9 individual winners. Good to see Michael Dilger pull the upset in the King Swan. Rick Schosberg, Simon Callahan shipped in, and David Donk, of course, in the nightcap, forcing that pick 6 carryover in Saturday's card. No claims on this Friday afternoon. They weren't selling any horses in the racing office, and we have got plenty to talk about. Cigar Mile Day 2015, stakes galore, when we come back. Oh, a huge exclamation point on the Grade 1 action for this circuit in 2015 with the Cigar Mile, the final Grade 1 of the year. An outstanding field of 7, 10 races in all. 11:50 a.m. is that first post. And welcome back as we charge down the stretch once again. A little bit of show left with the Mig and Jason, and a lot to talk about, Miggs, as we dive right into race number 3 with the Demoiselle for 2-year-old fillies. And Chad Brown has got a good Bernardini 2-year-old filly who should be pretty tough stretching out.
Yeah, I like her progression to 6 to 7. Now she's going to the mile and 8. Her mother, Summer Raven, if I'm not mistaken, won the Tempted here back in 2004. So she was able to get the mile. She's by Bernardini. And I think this is a filly that looks like she's taking the right steps and continually improving.
Speaking of steps, 2 are dropping out of the prep for the Demoiselle opening week in the Tempted. Floridor ran okay in this one for Mary Alice Coffey.
And she really did. It looked like at one point she might even get up. And another filly that's continually improved. I just wonder, did she get the kind of setup in the Tempted that really kind of made her look maybe a little better than she actually is? I think tomorrow we're going to find out if that was a fluke or for real.
And 3 Uncle Mo fillies in the race, and just like that, all 3 are sent out by the man who trained Uncle Mo to an Eclipse Award in Todd Pletcher. And we're checking out Thrilled for Michael Tabor, and she's never started on the dirt.
Never started on the dirt, but I think she's actually looks more like a dirt type of horse to me because she doesn't have like a turn of foot. Good turf horses have a turn of foot. She's a little bit more relentless in the way she moves. She's got good works on the dirt. I got a feeling this filly's going to take to the dirt.
Remsen winners, of course, a major stepping stone to the Triple Crown in 2016, right around the corner as we go to some past winners commemorated in the paddock, and Mohaymen for Shadwell may have his silks, those blue and white silks up on the paddock wall, this gray unbeaten, and man, he's just been so good so far.
He's been really good, and we get lucky to see the first 3 finishes out of the Nashua coming back here in the Remsen. Mohaymen was decidedly best. I thought that he made a long, steady run, a little bit different than his first start where he showed more speed. I think he will definitely stay the distance, flexibility around a good second here. Sail Ahoy gets blinkers, interesting, from the Shug McGahee barn.
And Giftbox gets a dry track most likely tomorrow after a fast maiden win over a good horse in Matt King Cole.
Yeah, I mean, boy, look at the separation from them back to the 3rd place finisher. They really opened up on the field over 18 lengths. But was it mud? You want to see him do it on a fast track now. And it's an interesting race. He certainly has a pedigree that makes you think he could step forward.
Heck of a Remsen, I'll tell you. The 2-year-old picture post-Breeders' Cup has gotten a lot more interesting, especially here in the Big Apple, and we'll see who proves best. Will it be the $2 million Mohaymen tomorrow afternoon? Race number 7, 3-year-old fillies running against each other late in the season, man, for a big purse of $300,000. Here is the Comely, and we're looking at the New York-bred Wonder Gal, who's been very solid all year for Leah Giamatti.
Yeah, she's been real good, and I thought this was a real good effort from her. She was close to a very fast pace. She beat Elders here. I'm still of the opinion, until she makes me believe otherwise, she's a better one-turn horse. This is 2 turns, a mile and an eighth. I'd like her, but she's going to have to prove it to me.
You like Salahoy trying 2 turns in the Remsen. What do you think of Carumba for the Phipps and Shug, as she has done very little wrong, and another Bernardini Gray who is looking for 4 straight victories?
Well, we're looking at when she ran 2 turns in Saratoga, and she was a prompt winner here, and she's gone on a tear, winning 3 in a row. Very impressive the last 3 starts, but even second in her first 2 starts sprinting. She's got the look of a very, very live player in here.
Big field in the Cumley. 7 will go to the post in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile. There's been 1 repeat winner in nearly 30 years of history in this prestigious race, and that being Congaree. Well, Private Zone will try to be up to the task tomorrow, coming out of a very gritty effort behind Run Happy in the BC Sprint.
Yeah, he was an unfortunate loser here. He did everything but win, but he got beat by a very good horse in Run Happy. Private Zone, if you liked him going in, you got to like him even more with the draw. And the fact that there's not a tremendous amount of speed in here, not his kind of speed anyway. I mean, they may go along good, but they're good horses, so they're supposed to set some sort of a pace, and we're looking at him get run down here by Tonalist for second. Obviously, Honor Code runs by everybody, but is Tonalist going to get the kind of help he got in the Met Mile when they went so fast early? You know, they wound up going 44 and change. I don't think you're going to see those kind of fractions.
And he just strikes me as more of kind of a one-pace grinder, and he's just a little bit better beyond a mile. It's a real sort of nice cat and mouse with 2 different horses who have 2 very different styles, as Matru will look to keep a good run going for Chad Brown off an upset win in the Bold Ruler.
Yeah, Matru is very good here. My Loot didn't come back and run too well. I wonder just how strong this Bold Ruler was. And the other thing you got to think about, watch early. How is the track going to be playing? Is it going to benefit a horse like Private Zone that speed's going to be good, or is it going to be more like today's track where horses rallying towards the outside are getting the best of it?
And keep watching now as Andy and Maggie are in the mix.
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, it's going to be an exciting day here at Aqueduct on Saturday, no doubt about it. Stakes action throughout the card. A lot of very good horses, running in very good races and promising horses as well. And I'm going to look at a horse that I think is kind of promising in race number 2. It's a non-winners of 1 lifetime, or non-winners of 1 other than, I should say, at 6 furlongs. And Loose on the Town caught my eye. He's coming off a layoff after a poor performance 3 months ago in the King's Bishop. But he won his debut, so we know that his trainer, Brian Lynch, could get him ready to win off a layoff. In his second start, that's the race I really liked, because he came close to catching Waco up at Saratoga. And Waco is a very, very good horse at Saratoga who followed it up with a big win over much tougher horses. And Loose in the Town made a huge run to get it done there. Track seems pretty fair. Feels like there's a little bit of pace inside of him. And I think Loose in the Town may come rolling down the stretch. And I prefer him. In race number 2, hopefully the price is fair enough. It looks like a pretty competitive race on what's a very competitive card here at Aqueduct.
Well, I hope everybody has enjoyed their Friday, as I'll take a look at Saturday. It's Cigar Mile Day and a great card on hand with, yet again, some good 2-year-old racing. And I will look in particular at race number 4. It's a maiden special weight for the 2-year-old fillies. We're going the mile on the turf course, and number 1 is Inspector Lindley, who will break out of post position 4 for Shug McGahee. This gal I liked a lot in her first start. Looking at her as a physical type, she's extremely athletic. She had the size and maturity that I always love to see with these 2-year-old fillies. Though, demeanor-wise, she was a bit green, and she kind of ran that way. It took her a while to get in the race, but she was coming with a late kick, and I like those types. She should show a little more speed, at least from the gate, I think, and just having that race and experience under her belt should aid her in hopefully getting the job done in tomorrow's 4th. As your paddock insider, it's Inspector Lindley. Guys, back to you.
11:50 a.m., 10 races on your Saturday card right here at the Big A. It's Cigar Mile Day 2015. Private Zone and the crew, and we'll have the complete wrap-up for you tomorrow night right here on MSG+.